How did you guys come through the game Wednesday?
Yeah, they've all come through the game okay. Nobody's missing from Wednesday night. Yeah, came in yesterday, done a regen. Lads who didn't start, done a bit of training, and everybody got through it okay. Everybody's been massaged, rubbed, cold ice baths, and all ready for training this morning.
You said Zaha at 70 minutes. That was more minute management than anything else?
Yeah, he had a tight hamstring as well, but we've had a scan and he's clear on the scan, so yeah, he's fine.
In terms of these, when you have these Wednesday, Saturdays, is the Saturday part the tougher one to negotiate just because of the turnaround time?
Yeah, I think Wednesday, Saturday games are always the tough ones. It's less turnaround, especially if you're travelling as well, because you've got to come in the following day after the game, make sure everybody's okay, and then they're in this morning ready to travel as well. But they're fresh. The players are ready for it. They've got a bit of confidence out of the last few games and the last few results as well. So we're looking forward to the trip.
How do you strike a balance when you're holding a lead and you're in a position where your opponent is holding the possession and having an enjoyment there? How do you balance the want to maybe get aggressive and get the ball off your opponent versus sitting back and suffering?
I think when you're leading the game, then the onus is on the opposition to come at you. And that usually opens up spaces. You saw on Wednesday, I thought we were comfortable Wednesday. I thought they had a spell just after they scored, but it was only a short spell, 5 minutes or so. We still had a lot of possession, and when we did get the ball, I thought we created some really good opportunities to actually kill the game off, and that's the best way to kill the game off, by getting our next goal. And their goalkeeper made a couple of good saves. We missed some chances.
Does that spell maybe give you a little bit of a pause when you try to think about, hey, this little rut we were in before the home stretch, maybe that had maybe gotten out of your system, but does that maybe give you a little bit of pause to say, hey, you know what, we still got to keep our guard down and make sure that those moments don't happen?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we managed the game really well the other night. That was the pleasing thing. I thought first half DC had come for the draw. It looked like they just sat back and had no intention really to go and jump at us. But then when you score the goal just before half time and then the second one, then they have to open up and come at you a little bit. They kind of scored a goal out of nothing really. We were actually on the attack, and as I said, just watching it back, I thought Jaquil could have gone and closed the lad down quicker. But from there, I still think we managed the game well. So, there's always that balance, but I'd like to go and get the next goal to go and kill the game.
It seemed that Kerwin had really gotten himself a good run of form heading into Wednesday. You started Abada. How much did his performance, him being Liel, maybe reinsert himself into the conversation?
Yeah, I thought Liel played well. He's coming back to form, which is what we want. We want our players coming to form, as we run towards the end of the season and the back end of the season. And he came in, he showed me what he's about. He didn't get too many chances, but he created some chances, but was a really willing runner as well. So, great battle that he's having.
I know that you never want to change a back line, particularly if it's working, but what is the Tui Loma Scardina kind of almost partnership felt like when you play Bill from the start and you have Nick kind of back him up?
Yeah, I mean, I like to have a consistent and steady back four whenever I can. Obviously, with Nathan and Sully being out for so long, we've had to chop and change a little bit. Jaquil's ended up playing left back for the majority of the games he's been here, which is an unorthodox position for him, but he's got better and better. I thought his positioning's got better as the games have gone on, and now Bill and Nick have been competing well and helping each other really as well for that position. And Bill's come in there. He plays that position a lot for the international team, his national team with New Zealand, and he can certainly play that position again. But it's given Nicola a little bit of a breather by allowing us to do that as well.
And Sully, you mentioned that he might be able to feature tomorrow.
Well, Sully and Nathan Byrne will both train today, which is great news for us. Nathan got the okay yesterday. to continue now full training with us. So he's going to join in with us today. Sully's joining in with us today, and Sully will be available as part of the squad.
I know that probably after the game Wednesday, not the best time to ask you about this, but now that the Pat door is closed, how do you reflect on not only his time here, but now your striker situation as it sits currently?
I got a very, very good relationship with Pat, and sad to see him go, but we wish him well in his future and what he does. I think Pat will echo what I say in terms of the club, and we've helped him develop and give him a platform to go on, and he's helped us as a club as well. And it was a partnership that really worked, and good luck to him. But our job now is to go and look for another centre forward to go and put pressure on Idan now, who's doing extremely well for us.
Sam?
Coach, what are your thoughts looking ahead to Atlanta?
I'm looking forward to the game. They've got players that can obviously hurt you. They spent big in the market before the season started. Bought Elmer in, bought Latte in. They've got Miranchuk as well. So they've got some really good players. It's probably not clicked results-wise for them this season. But we've got to actually go and perform, because players like that on their day can take a game away from you. So we have to make sure we do our job.
Aside from Orlando City, you've had this 4-match stretch where Atlanta's the last of some opponents who are mid or at the bottom of the table. How important is it to maximize your points out of these matches?
Yeah, they are. I mean, we've got Toronto at home after as well. Before we go into the Leagues Cup, but we always knew that these games were going to be big for us. 4 out of 5 being at home, but that we're certainly not neglecting the away game, and we know what that means to our supporters as well.
What can you tell us about the run that Pep has been on with multiple team of the match day, a player of the match day, and I believe first Charlotte player to receive 7 goal contributions in a 4-game stretch?
I think it just shows the influence that he's building, in his performances. He's a really good technical player. He's really good tactically. He understands the game. He knows what hurts opposition. He knows what runs can hurt the opposition as well. And he's good defensively without the ball as well. He covers a lot of distance during games, and we're pleased that he's in this run of form at the moment. But I still don't think we've seen the best of him, and that's the exciting part, because I still think there's more from him.
Speaking of people we haven't had a chance to see the best of yet, with Nympha getting better and Cambridge getting his first start of the season on Wednesday, who are some of the younger players that are really geared or in a place to make an impact?
I think as the season goes on, some of the younger players from the legacy have been impressing. Nympha's back from injury, as you said. Unfortunately, AJ's got injured, because AJ was another one who was really impressing. Jack Neely has got on the pitch this season for us as well, and he's been impressive. So, we've got a few young players who are coming through.
And with the current state of the roster build, has there been any... given the change up top and in the transfer money the team will be getting, has there been any consideration about moving from a 2DP to a 3DP model in the middle of the season?
There's been talk about it. I find, the squad management here a lot tougher, with the salary cap that you have, and it looks like a lot of teams have to, rob Peter to pay Paul at the moment, and it's a little bit of balancing acts, and so we've discussed whether it's the 2 or the 3, and whatever options are available, we've still got that optionality with that to change it if we need to.
And there have been rumors going around that Charlotte has had a lot of interest in a player from Cruz Azul. Are there any other players that the team has really gone after to fill these holes?
There's a lot of players that we're looking at and trying to bring to the football club. Obviously, I'm not allowed to speak about players who are with another club at the moment.
All right, cheers, team. Best of luck.
Thanks, Sam.
Go ahead, Steve.
Perhaps you should try the Inter Miami rules when it comes to building rosters. There seems to be a little more liberal.
I'll plead the fifth.
A good choice. With the game with Washington was DC was a very depleted team coming in with their defense and things like that. Does it Benteke out? Does it speak to how difficult MLS games are, regardless of that, in getting results these days? That even a depleted team can put up a good fight.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see too many games. There's been some exceptions this season. I think we've had a couple of 7-0s, haven't we? Or 7-2s, and I think Nashville beat Chicago, and did somebody else beat somebody? But they're not norm. They're not the norm here. There's a lot of tight games always, and I think that's due to the salary capping as well. So, tight teams, tight games, and I think more organised teams can usually go and get results in this league. And they had both the fullbacks suspended. They had Benteke out, and they decided to go and defend low. And our job then was to open them up, and getting that goal just before half time, certainly helped. We had some opportunities before that as well, and we created a number of. I mean, on another day we could have scored 4, 5, 6 ourselves, and everybody would have said that's what you probably deserved. But reality is, it is tougher than that.
Yeah, and their keeper, came up brilliantly to keep it from being a higher score line.
Yeah, he made 2 really good saves, one from Pep to start him getting his hat-trick, and one from Idan as well, and Idan just failed to get it on the end of another cross. I thought the keeper did well to put off Brandon at the end as well, so there was he had a good performance in the game which kept the scoreline down.
And speaking of Idan, I mean, his runs into those spots, crashing the goal at the right times where he scored. The previous game came close on that one. Do you find him, as a 20-year-old, to be a little more mature in, understanding where to be at the right time?
I think he understands the game really well. He's obviously been brought up a lot, playing, watching. He makes really good runs. He knows when the ball gets into a wide area that his job is to get inside the 6-yard box, and anything that's cut back, that's for other people to arrive, as you saw with the first goal the other night. So, he's got a really good understanding of the game.
Excellent. And just regarding the festivity side of Wednesday night, did you have a chance to speak with Rodney Marsh at any length?
I didn't. I think they packed Rodney off to bed, I think, by the time the game had finished, or by the time I got through my press duties. But I managed to speak to a lot of the other former players of the Carolina Lightning team, and it was great to see them there, and I hope they can make that an annual event and get them here to the stadium more often. Great to see them.
Yeah, because, Atlanta, actually, after the Chiefs, they had the Georgia Generals, who were coached by Dave Chadwick. I don't know if you remember him from his early 70s days there. And
no,
he was the coach. We could have a whole ASL retro match going on.
It'd be good fun, that's for sure.
Okay, thanks. See you
Cheers,
down
Steve.
there.
Thank you, mate.
Dean, thank you for joining us. Appreciate
Thank
your
you
time.
very much.